All right, we're kicking this mother off with Vicki McKenna and CultureCast. Vicki, welcome to the show.
Good to be here, Duke.
Sometimes the stories are so hysterical, it's worth the corrupt culture. I mean, they don't. We've got a story coming from you about a cracker Karen, a white woman who apparently likes to whip young black men, on the basketball court. Now, this is part of a broader series of quote unquote educational videos. The name of the company, the organization, is Generation Hope. And what they're doing is creating these video content. They're actually made up video content, most of it seems to be. And what they're doing is they're trying to scare people about just how bad Western culture is, how much white supremacy there is in the world. And this is pretty remarkable.
All right, we're going to play the video, so just stick around for that. You have to see it. It is every awful, lie and piece of horrid, vile stereotyping you can imagine. It is agitprop. That's the right word for this, and this entire organization's series of videos is agitprop. It is no different than what the Nazis did to try to convince people that Jewish people were the most horrible people on earth and needed to be, summarily removed from society. It's not different than that concept. It is absurd, but over time, even absurd agitprop starts to work its way into the culture's consciousness. And that's my worry about this. It's very funny because it's stupid. At the same time, we're living in idiocracy. That movie, by the way, wasn't funny when I first saw it. And now it's not funny at all because we're living in it. That said, these kinds of, and Duke, you're a college professor. You see these kids, the kind of information and stereotype that they are promoting is not questioned by young people. It's promoted by the professoriate. And so, as funny as it is, and this absurd, skinny little white woman cracking a whip at these calm, peaceful black men playing basketball, it's stupid, except that someone's going to believe this. This is going to end up influencing people in ways that are dangerous.
This is Fantasy Island for the deranged liberal, right? Can you imagine Tattoo and Mr. Rourke welcoming these two idiots to buy this kind of propaganda to Fantasy Progressive Island, where immediately they're shown 3D surround sound versions of white people just abusing the hell out of minorities.
Here's the skinny white lady, with the gigantic person, a bullwhip that she whips out. And the progressive people on Progressive Fantasy Island say, that's exactly how it happens. It's just like that. This is worse than slavery. This is worse than pre-civil rights Southern America. This is the most horrible place on earth. And it's not just this subject. It's about, white families and all kinds of different ways that Western culture is horrible and must be eradicated because, this agitprop is attacking all levels of it.
Yeah, take a look at the website. Here are some of the titles of the shows that they've done. Unbelievable. Wife fakes cancer. Frat guy, drugs, hot girl. Evil son poisons mother. Evil foster mother. I mean, this is progressive porn for idiots. I mean, can't you just see Tattoo running around? Hey, the cracker, right? The crackers are coming. It's unbelievable. And you go back to that website of theirs, and Vicki, tell us where they're getting their funding from. For something that is as absurd as this, boy, they're getting some serious donors.
So they get massive donors. They are considered a charity. It's a group called Generation Hope, and it is funded by folks like the Washington, D.C. fixer firm SKD Knickerbocker. It's the Wall Street Journal franchise. It is, Pepco Holdings. It's Ernst & Young. That's who's underwriting this. And they're considered, a nonprofit. So they're not paying taxes on any of this stuff. No doubt they're also seeking and likely receiving taxpayer money in the form of capacity building dollars or dollars that are set aside for social justice or education. They call themselves an education group. And their message is that America is worse than it was before Jim Crow. Only this time, skinny white ladies who couldn't survive a strong wind are the ones who are so powerful. They're like ninja superheroes that are the ones that are delivering this rough justice from the bad old days of pre-Jim Crow. It's just nuts. This is how progressives think of America, though. That is important to understand. They wouldn't make this video if they didn't actually think this is what America was like.
Stay right there, America. You're going to want to see this after the break. All right, back again with part 2 and Vicki McKenna and CultureCast. Okay, so we're talking about, give me the video one more time, the actual website one more time, Mike. This is family friendly, it says, Generation Hope. A bunch of young activists getting a lot of money from including Wall Street Journal affiliated organizations to make videos that are trying to scare people to death about how evil whiteness is, evil white people are,
yes,
and how evil white culture is. Here's the video of a young Karen who's walking in her neighborhood, finds out that there are 2 black guys, one in a wheelchair, by the way, playing basketball. How dare they invade her white Karen space? And well, you just got to see the rest.
Monkeys are back at it again. I'll teach them a lesson they won't forget. Hey! What did I tell you criminals about coming back to my neighborhood?
Oh no, Roy, let's just get out of here.
No, Vince. I won't let her ruin our fun. Listen, lady, we aren't breaking any laws by having fun here at the park. I won't let you intimidate us anymore.
Are you talking back to me, boy? I guess you forgot who used to own your kind, and I'm about to remind you of that right now.
Ow! Ah, that hurts! Ah, Vince, help! Ah.
Don't you touch him or I will knock your teeth out.
Roy, hang on. I'll get some help.
So a couple things I got to throw out there right away. Right
I
away.
want to say this. Yeah, me too. Because I just want to know why that man did not get up out of that wheelchair and say, "My goodness, I could feel that. I'm healed."
Yes, she's whipping him. She's whipping him below the waist, and he's in a wheelchair where evidently he can't feel any feeling in his legs. How about the fact that the big tall guy runs away and leaves him there? I mean, how hard
with the scary skinny white lady?
How hard would it have been to grab the handlebars and just run away with him? And to me, this is, of all the things that bothers me, two adult African-American men would never use the word, "We will not let you ruin our fun." That doesn't make any sense. That's what white people say. No way would they.
Even white men wouldn't have said that.
Those 2 black guys are whiter than Karen in the video. So, but
I just want to say, Karen had somehow, she managed to hide that massive bullwhip in that impossibly large bag that she's carrying around. Honestly, it looks like it's a little too heavy for her. So here's another thing. But really, first off, understand, progressives actually think this is what America's like. So before we continue on about it, I just want to say, could the actress have washed her hair? Please? Could you try a little personal hygiene before you actually try to, produce anti-American, racist agitprop? But so here this is what they think. They think that some skinny, white lady who could get blown over in a strong wind is going to be walking around with a giant bag concealing a bullwhip. And that, that somehow this is even close to, realistic or even acceptably metaphorical about what's going on in this country. That literally happens nowhere in this country, literally nowhere. You will never find an actual, event like this that's real and not staged. But this is what the progressives believe. And remember, they are underwritten by some of the most powerful and wealthy progressives, in DC, in New York. We're talking about progressive fixer firms for Democrats. And somehow this is a qualifying charity.
If you actually wrote down what happened, like a journalistic account of this, and showed it to my university colleagues, they would believe it hook, line, and sinker. Now, some of them, I'd like to believe, are aware enough that if they saw the video, they would see through that. I would like to believe that. But if you just wrote like a 4-sentence overview of what happened, my university faculty would believe it. My chancellor if you said it happened at the university, would be writing a letter condemning all racism across the world. You would have all sorts of investigations. You'd have all sorts of bias reporting incidents. Just take the video, which is ridiculous, put it down to three or four ridiculous sentences, and the liberals will believe it hook, line, and sinker.
100%. And you know what? You should put that to the test. You should try that with your kids. See whether or not they're willing to believe these lies. Even after you have worked so hard to show them the pathways to truth. See what happens even if it's just college students, because I think they will believe it. And I will bet you that you can show this video to, and I would bet out of 100 progressives, 95 of them would believe the video is real.
I agree.
90 to 95 of them would believe that absurd video was actually real.
I agree, but I do think that the kids are less gullible than the faculty. I think that 95% of faculty will get it. I bet half of the kids would see through it, and then the university would get angry that half the kids didn't believe it and put them through mandatory race training.
And they would be told, because talk radio would expose them and say it's fake. And they would say, well, we're right on principle.
That's
we may be wrong on the details, but we're right on principle.
It's like fake race crimes, hate crimes, right? It may not have happened, but it speaks to the deep division and racist origins of our country.
It could have happened.
You couldn't make this up, but somebody just did. And liberals are loving it. Thanks for your time today. And just remember the monumental opening line of that video. Remember? The monkeys are at it again.